Joey Odessa, Mr. Joey Bagels. It is time. It's time. It's bagel time. 9-0 the last 2 weeks. So no pressure at all there, Joey Bagels. If you followed our podcast, you've been winning like crazy. It's Follow the Action. Downloaded over 2,000 cities, over 60 countries in all 50 states. There's a very good reason because we have the best in the world. The best sports gambler alive. Fighting out of the city of brotherly love. It is the Philly Godfather. Philly Godfather, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I made one of the biggest blunders in my life. We can talk about that later. But I just want to tell everybody, Joey's been on fucking fire. Listen, I don't care who's giving out UFC picks. I don't care what kind of following they got. What Joey's done on this show is unfucking believable. I'm just being honest. Like, his record, you're not going to find that record anywhere. You can span the globe 17 times. It's not out there. It's only here. Follow the action. That's it, John.
Absolutely insane. Well, let's get right to the legend himself, Mr. Joey Odessa. Holy cow, man. Dude, I feel the heat from here. You're on fire. How you doing, legend?
I'm all right.
I can't even call you Joe anymore. It's either Mr. Odessa or just legend.
Bagels work.
Don't be too fired up.
I'm humble, you know. I'd love to stand on top of the Empire State Building, beat on my chest. But it's just not me, man.
If you did that, you'd probably get Fay Ray.
I'd probably fucking go like 0-14. I don't know what you just said, but I'd probably lose every bet if I did something like that.
And let's get to the person that is the man of the hour. Yeah, he won the SSA. That's the sexiest son bitch alive. That is Mr. Dave Mason. He's so good looking we can't even put him on camera. He's so good looking. How you doing, Dave?
Yeah, I'm beat down from this week with this election, so I'm not too. I've lost a little bit of luster this week, but I'm still alive, man. I'm still hanging on by a thread here. But
so, Dave, let me ask you because I saw your tweet. I love following you on Twitter because Dave Mason at Bet Online because you give so much info on what's going on in sports betting markets from the sportsbook perspective. You said it was bigger than the last 2 Super Bowls combined. The bets right now on President Trump versus Vice President Biden is who wins the presidency, right?
Yeah, the action was just absolutely insane. I knew it was going to be a massive event, but in my wildest dreams, I thought we had a shot at getting right around. I knew it would be the biggest decision. We overtook Mayweather McGregor a few years ago as the biggest decision of all time, and we blasted by that. We multiplied that by 2. But I thought as overall action, we had a shot maybe at a Super Bowl, 75% to a Super Bowl, but we did enough money to cover 2 Super Bowls, and that's 100% truth. It is absolutely insane. You never saw action coming in here, just 5 figures, just everywhere. 6 people putting 6 figures on it everywhere. I've never seen. Nothing ever compared to this, never, and I can't see how anything ever will compare to this again. Maybe 2024 election, if Trump loses and he comes back, watch out. That's all I look at it from is just the action, man. I don't get engaged on the political shit, man, but the action, holy hell, it's been crazy, but it was one hell of a week from Bet Online. Even if we lose, it doesn't matter. It's just that action coming in, players signing up.
Yeah, it matters.
What are the? Nah, it does. But when you're on the side of when you're booked as big as us, man. I mean, if you lose, if Trump won this weekend's NFL action would be record-setting. So it's one of those kind of things. You got so many more bettors on the site. So, yeah, we root for Biden, but there's that kind of silver lining if Trump wins one. I don't even know he's the past tense or present tense or whatever. Anyways, enough of that.
Well, what's the better scenario for you, Dave? Which guy's the better scenario?
Biden outright, baby.
Biden outright. But let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
I mean, well, no, you're fine. But if Trump wins, do you guys get buried?
Wow. It's insane. It's freaking.
So that's like if you got $100 better and he hits like a 20-team parlay, you're never seeing that money back for a while.
Well, some say Trump wins. Say he pulls a rabbit out of the hat here, and we haven't graded. No books have graded. This morning I got online with a bunch of guys from other bet books, and we're all on the same side. Yeah, they're saying Biden won and whatever, but we need to be. This is just so much money online. We need to be patient. We've graded everything that we could possibly grade, but we need to be patient. Even there's a 1% of 1% chance that Trump wins this somehow with some kind of whatever recount or whatever. We need to be patient. There's just too much money on the line. But if Trump won somehow, like I said, sure we get beat up, but we have big pockets. We're not some corner bookie, man. We're not some small shop. We have deep pockets as anybody. You just pretty much we give back what we won last Sunday, which tells you how we did last NFL Sunday. So whatever.
Dave, when we actually, do you have an idea of when you'll call it?
No.
When they go
no, it depends. It's just a lot of moving parts here. First, we're gonna wait for the recounts, right? A lot depends on Trump. He could just Sunday night or Monday he could say, I concede, whatever. Doubt that happens. But it also depends. There's so many moving parts here. You don't know though. You don't. We laugh, but you don't know. You get the McConnell and the rest of Republicans that say, "Dude, just concede and blah blah blah, run in 2024." Who in the hell knows what's going to happen? This is just such a crazy, once in a lifetime event. But we're going to grade it when we're 100% sure, man. It's there's just too much money on the line. This isn't some halftime Super Bowl bet that was gray wording, and we're like, shit. Well, let's just grade both sides winners, whatever.
Tell him, Dave. This is bigger than Nino Brown. Tell him.
Yeah, right. This is bigger than some damn halftime show. It's massive, and it's very. You got bettors on both sides. They're very passionate. It's a very emotional event too. So I'm sorry, I'm getting my balls busted a little bit on Twitter, but you just gotta Biden bettors. You gotta wait, man. You just gotta wait. You'll get your money when he gets his hand raised, but hopefully it's soon. We don't that's the other thing. People, you just holding on our money. That's BS, man. We want our money, even if Trump wins. We want the Biden losing money, and we want the Trump bettors spending their money on Breeders' Cup, NFL Week 9, next week's Masters, etc. We don't make money holding on to money.
Spoken like a man that needs Joe Biden.
No malarkey over here, guys.
Well, Dave, we appreciate all the heads up, the updates off your Twitter. It's very interesting. If nothing else, it is a crazy time, and following your Twitter has been a lot of fun for this because it's
if you don't get banned.
I'm neutral on there. No one know. I bust everybody's balls there.
Don't make sure no video goes viral, Dave. Make sure none of your videos go viral.
We'll get straight to UFC. A quick update. Jonathan Coachman just texted me to the coach himself and said that he couldn't hear us. So I don't know what that's all about.
He can't hear us.
So if there's anybody out there who's having problems, please reach out to probably Joey or on our social media. I don't have a way to follow it. Then hopefully if there is a problem, we'll get it corrected. If not, learn how to read it.
Coach texted me, said he loved Ian Heinisch. Ian Heinisch just tested positive for COVID, so the Brendan Allen fight's off. Everybody knows that, right? I loved Brendan Allen. I didn't love Brendan Allen, but Jesus Christ, he was a great player.
Thank you, coach. Well, let's get started, guys. We got the first matchup right now is a bantamweight matchup. It is Gustavo Lopez, and these odds I got as of earlier today from online books, so they undoubtedly all will have changed. And Mr. Dave Mason from Bet Online can update them when he speaks before Joy. Gustavo Lopez, 11-5 record. He's a -135 favorite. He's 5-2 as far as KOs, TKOs, 5-0 as far as submissions. His last fight was a loss, June 13, 2020, lost to Davalishvili by unanimous decision. He is fighting in this bantamweight matchup Anthony Burchak, who is 16-6, is a +106 dog, 5-1, KOs, TKOs, 8-2. As far as submissions, they call him El Toro. He fought twice in 2019, winning both by submission. Those were his last two fights. 2.5 is the over-under total. And you get +120 as of earlier today to bet the over on this. Dave Mason from Bet Online, where do you have the money?
Yes, sir. Quick update on odds. Lopez is -150. Take back on Burchak is +130. The money's on Lopez. 75% of the cash is on him. 61% of the bettors. 67% is on the under. And there is some sharp action on Lopez as well, about -110-ish.
And Joy, do you have something on this fight?
I didn't bet it, no, but I'd probably take Burchak. If I was booking it, I'd want to go in with Burchak. That's all. I got no opinion on. I'm just saying, if I was booking it, I'd go in with the dog.
And just a quick update: Jonathan Coachman can hear us now. So I don't know what has happened.
He's gonna like to hear what I got to say.
He put his head on the tiger's asshole.
That's not nice, Joy.
Well, Coach has been on with me. Coach has been breaking my ball.
And a shout out to my boy Ryan and Kevin from Bermuda. Apparently those guys are listening tonight. Big sports gamblers. They love the Philly Godfather, as does everybody else, and Mr. Joey Odessa. So Coach can hear us. That's good news, I think. Depends on what Philly Godfather has to say. Philly Godfather, you have something on this first bantamweight matchup.
I do. But the problem is I really didn't have enough time to do a lot of research on these fights tonight. I'm just telling you guys from the door. So I'm doing the FTC equals MC square experiment. That's Fade the Coach experiment. So he sent me all the guys he likes today, and he loves Lopez at -150. So the reason why I didn't do no research was because I was boat shopping. A couple of my boys that used to move for me back in the 90s. The one guy owns JB Boats in Westville. The other guy owns Cecil Marina. Now, I was going to get a 50-footer, but since the election didn't really go my way, so now I'm going to have to scale down to a 40-footer. But, like I said, this is the FTC equals MC square experiment. Scientific. Fade the Coach. He likes Lopez. I'm taking the dog here, +130.
Fade the Coach. And Joy, just for the record, you also were going for Burchak here, right?
I'm just saying, if I was booking it in the booking seat, I'd feel comfortable going in with Burchak, but I didn't bet him.
But you didn't bet him.
No.
Next fight is a welterweight matchup. It is Mr. Max Griffin. They call him Pain. What should the pain is in his own corner because he has lost 6 of his last 9 fights. He is 15-8, 7-1 as far as KOs, TKOs, 2-0 as far as submissions. He is the favorite here at -140 as of earlier today, fighting Brahmaj, who is 8-2. All 8 of his wins have come by submissions. He has never been stopped himself, so he is 0-0 as far as KOs, TKOs. 2.5 is the total in this welterweight matchup that you bet on. It cost you -190 to take the over in this fight. Dave Mason from Bet Online, the sexiest sumbitch alive. What do you have as far as money?
The money's pretty split. About 51% is on Griffin. The bets are also split. 52% is on Griffin. 80% is on the under. There is some sharp action on the other side at about +140-ish. And that pays right now +122, so it's going down, obviously.
And when you say sharp on the other side, is that Brahmaj?
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you. Joy Odessa, what do you have for this fight?
I didn't bet it. Let me see if anybody sharp bet this that I saw. No, sir. Nope.
You don't have anything, and you didn't bet it yourself.
No, I didn't. I definitely didn't bet it myself.
Billy Godfather, did you have anything on this fight?
Yeah, Coach is taking the pain. He's taking the 34-year-old fighter. I'm taking the 27-year-old fighter. I'll take the dog +118.
The dog. So you're taking Max Griffin.
No, Max Griffin's the favorite.
Sorry, I had my odds were earlier today.
And the only reason why I know that is because Coach likes the favorite.
Fade the Coach. Got it. Brahmaj by sharp money and by fading the Coach. Coach is out there. We hope you're listening because we don't want to insult you if you're not listening. We love you, Coach. You got to come on again sometime, Coach. We miss you. Kind of in a weird way. We miss you. Next fight is a featherweight matchup. It is Mr. Darren Elkins, who is the favorite here, almost 3-1 as of earlier today, -285. They call him the Damage. However, he has lost his last 4 decisively. Unanimous decision, and KO. He is 25-9, 9-3 as far as his KOs, TKOs, 4-1 as far as submissions. Fighting Eduardo Garagorri, He is 13-1. He is from Uruguay, 4-0 as far as KOs, TKOs, 6-1 as far as submissions. His sole loss came in his last fight. That was November 2019, where he was subbed in the first round by Ramos. It is a featherweight matchup. As I think I mentioned, 2.5 rounds is the betting total on the over-under. It cost you a -165 to take the over. Mr. Dave Mason from BetOnline, what have you got?
Yeah, they're on Elkins, the old veteran there. 75% of the cash and 52% of the bets are on Elkins. 54% is on over. Also, some sharp action on him, about -210, and he's up to -280. So the sharp's got an earlier better price. The over's now over 2.5, -150. Like I said, 54% of the bettors are on the over.
Over pretty split. So, Joy, Odessa, do you have something on this fight?
Elkins and under. Elkins and under. I think Elkins will sub him. So take him down and sub him.
Yeah, that four-fight losing streak too. I mean, he was fighting some killers there too on that losing streak. So
well, you got to figure too. How many times you see a guy drops 4 in a row and he comes back favored? Yeah. They're begging you to bet. They're betting you to bet the other kid. The other kid too. His win. They threw him that softball in Guatemala. Or where's the kid from? He's
Uruguay.
From Uruguay. Same thing. Yeah. So
it's the same thing. One's in Central America. One's in South America. Making countries.
Come on, man. Come on, dude. We've been in Costa Rica for years. Come on.
I know.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So anyway, they threw him a softball down there. And then he got beat by that, what's his name, Ramos. He got beat by one of those, Ricardo something or another. Hey, I like Elkins here. I think Elkins bounces back with a win. If he doesn't, he's probably looking at, he fights a couple fighting nights. Might be looking at a tank slip, but that's not what matters. What matters is Elkins wins, it goes under.
Elkins
and if the other kid wins, it's going to go under. This isn't like a safety bet or something like that. I just think Elkins can take this kid down at will. He's smart.
Philly Godfather, do you have something on this?
I mean, Coach told me he likes the dog and over. I don't want to lay 280 on a guy that lost 4 in a row, so I'm not going to bet it. But if you guys want to fade the coach, he likes the dog and over. Just letting you guys know.
There's this big waterfall down there in Uruguay.
He likes this 36-year-old fighter. I don't know.
Next matchup is a heavyweight matchup, and we got King Kong. I like this guy. Alexander King Kong Romanov. He's -490, almost 5-1 as of earlier today. King Kong Romanov is a Moldovan southpaw. He is 12-0. He has never gone to decision. 5 KOs, 7 submissions. He is fighting Marcus Rosario de Lima. Their height and weight and reach is almost identical in this heavyweight matchup. 6'2", 260, 6'1", 258, both reach 75. Romanov, just a little extra info here. He's been to the third round only 3 times. The second round only twice. 7 of his fights have ended in the first round. De Lima is 17-7-1. 12-1 as far as KOs, TKOs, 3-5 as far as submissions. The Brazilian is known as Pezao. My Brazilian fans are going to get mad at me like Joy's Uruguayan fans are going to get mad at me. This heavyweight matchup has a 1.5 over-under total. Get 190, plus 190 to bet the over in this as of earlier today. Mr. Dave Mason from BetOnline, what do you got?
Yeah, it's up to, you can get plus 200 now on the over 1.5, and the updated odds of Romanov is -520. He's up to -520. The take back is plus 395, and the bettors are on Romanov. 85% of the cash and 55% of the bettors are on him. 72% is on the under. Nothing sharp here at BetOnline.
72% on the under. And Joy Odessa, did you touch anything in this fight? Huge favorite here with King Kong Romanov.
No, but it looks like there's some sharp money, like Dave said, on Romanov here. Probably under, too. I mean, I don't know, man. This is Moldova. I mean, laying 3-1. This card has got, I said earlier in the week, there's a lot of live dogs on this card that won't win. I mean, Romanov is not the kind of guy that I'd like to make 3-1 over anybody, but when Lima's on his back, he looks, he's like a 10-1 kind of dog. Romanov's got an easy path to victory. He's just got to take him down. He takes him down, he'll sub him. He'll side mount him. He'll beat him. But if he doesn't, he could have some problems. But there is some sharp money on Romanov. But you can't bet it now. Just you got to pass. That's my thought. Unless you put him in a parlay or something. But I'm not a parlay guy.
Is this Romanov the real deal, Joey? He's 12-0. He's never been to decision. All 12 of he's finished guys.
Yeah, but he never beat nobody good. You know what I mean? It's so hard. A lot of guys will say, a lot of people will say, they tape study and all that stuff, but it's all bullshit because if you're looking at two teams play, like I don't know, I'll try to say football game. If you look at two high school teams and you put them in college uniforms, you know what I mean, against each other, and you take the two best high school teams in the country. And you put them in an Alabama jersey and a Clemson jersey, okay? And they play that game. And they might look super good on one side, super good on the other side. You know what I mean? Because they're playing at their level. Now you take those two teams and you put them up against an Alabama and a Clemson, and what happens? They get squashed. You understand what I'm saying? So you really, the competition is fight. If you're fighting competition at this level, like it's like that Chimaev. He came out and look, okay, he just stretched Mearshart, which made the stock go way, way up. But when you got guys that are coming in, that Omar Morales, he fooled me. He got beat. He was undefeated coming into the UFC. Like, I think the past 5 cards, like four undefeated people have gone down. And I believe they were favorites. And the reason, well, maybe not Morales, but they're favored or they got a lot of credibility because you're looking at them beat up guys, not even tomato cans. They might be in against a 7 or 8-1 guy and beat him and look really good, but that 7 and 8-1 guy didn't beat anybody. And you go through it, and there's levels to this. Anyways, yeah. So that's my thought on Romanov. I'm not, I wouldn't be surprised if Lima beat Romanov here, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Lima got taken down, mounted, and smashed. And Romanov looks like this great big, superstar. Only for him to, was he a light heavyweight? Oh, he's a heavyweight. Well. Yeah, I mean, he said, look, the heavyweight division is pretty weak. I mean, you got your top 5 or 6 guys, and then you got your Ben Rothwells and guys like that, your Stefan Struves and, Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't think my jury's out on Romanov.
Do you have something on this fight?
I didn't research none of these fights, but we're doing the FTC experiment. And Coach told me he likes a parlay. He likes De Lima and Arlovski. Is that how you say his name? Dave? Now,
Andre Arlovski.
What's
that parlay going to pay?
What's the odds on De Lima here?
Shit, like plus 350 now or something.
How about the other dude? What's the odds on the other dude? Plus what?
He's minus 520. I mean, he's at the minus 520. So
what's the odds on Arlovski?
My browser just closed. Plus 260 or something.
So if Coach bet $100 parlay,
plus 290. Oh God, he's plus 295 now. It's plus 295 Arlovski.
Yeah, Arlovski's
yeah.
So 360 and
plus
you said
295.
360 and 290. So Coach said he would bet $100 parlay on those dogs. So if he won, he would probably win around $1,750 or $1,700. So I would have to bet against him and parlay the 2 favorites.
Parlay the 2 favorites and fade the coach. And
Fade the coach.
by the way, for everybody listening out there, right before the main event, we'll get you out of here before the hour starts. So you can start watching the prelims. I'll recap the entire card and go down and tell you where the sharp money's gone and what Joey and the Philly Godfather are doing and where we can fade the coach. Next fight, if you like a favorite, you're going to love this. Giga Chikadze. As of earlier today, he was minus 930. The Georgian is 11-2, 5-0 on KOs, TKOs, 2-1 as far as submissions. He has fought 3 times in 2020. Could become one of few fighters ever to win 4 fights within 1 calendar year. He is on a 6-fight win streak. His last loss came in June of 2018. He's fighting Jamie Simmons, who is in his UFC debut. Jamie Simmons is 7-2. He's plus 580 as a dog. 4-1 KOs, TKOs, 1-1 submissions. They call him the Afro Samurai. He has won his last 3. However, in his 4th fight, 4 fights ago, he got knocked out in 13 seconds by Jake Childers. It's a featherweight matchup. 1.5 is the over/under. Cost you -105 to bet the over. Mr. Dave Mason from Bet Online, where do you have the money?
The money's 50-50, and 81% of the bets are on Simmons, and that's kind of one of those, once again, guys that's taking the underdog here, and so we'll need Chikadze big time, who's at the -930. The take back on Simmons is currently +630. Over under 1.5. Over is currently -114. 67% of the actions on the under. Nothing sharp here at Bet Online.
No sharp. Joey Odessa, what do you have on this fight?
Yeah, I don't know why they keep throwing this Georgian kid so many softballs. I don't know if they got a market over there or what. This kid is, Chikadze will probably get a stoppage here at some point, but, I don't know. I don't like the fight. Gun in my head, I'd bet under. I'd bet Chikadze and under, gun in my head, but I don't have a gun in my head.
We hope not.
No.
Godfather, do you have something on this fight?
I got 0. I mean, Coach didn't send me nothing. So, obviously, he's learned a little bit, over the last few months. He's not going to lay a 900 favorite. And since I was so busy boat shopping, I have 0 on this fight.
0 on this fight. Huge favorite, almost 10-1. Gabe got Chikadze. Go to our next fight is a middleweight matchup, and that is Trevin Giles. He is 11-2. His record breaks down to 10 wins, 5 knockouts, none against him, 5 submissions, 2 against him. Fighting Devon Lewis, who is 7-2, 3-1 as far as KOs, TKOs, 0-0 as far as submissions. Devon Lewis is barely a favorite here as of earlier today at -125. Giles was -105 earlier today. 2.5 is the over/under. Cost you -210 to bet the over. Dave Mason, where do you have the money?
It's split. I mean, the odds are split. This is a pick 'em -110 each side. 52% of the cash is on Giles. 53% of the bettors are on Lewis. 64% is on the under, which is 2.5. The under pays +165, and nothing sharp here at Bet Online.
Nothing sharp. What about you, Joey Odessa? Do you have something?
No, I didn't bet the fight. I don't think much of this Giles. He cost me some money against Mearshart, and he turns around and he beats James Krause. But no. I mean, again, gun to my head, I'd take Giles, but, I don't have one up there.
There's no sharp money on this. The money's split. Philly Godfather.
I don't see anything. Nobody I know likes either side there.
Nobody. Are you with the whole group, the sharp group, the public group, everything Philly Godfather, not taking a side on this?
The only guy I know who took a big side is Coach. He took Giles. Now, last time he loved a fighter, the guy broke his leg. Now, you got to remember, Giles' heart stopped last time from trying to make weight. So I swear to God, I pray for him. I pray nothing happens to Giles tonight because Coach is all over him. And if his heart stops again, I don't think Coach will ever bet UFC ever again. So I'm on the other side. Give me Lewis -110.
Giles is the one that passed out right before the fight, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I hope Coach don't jinx the kid.
Remember, we had the other side. We had the other side. I thought, why couldn't he have passed out like in the middle of the first round?
His heart stopped. His heart stopped.
Giles has been cost me some money.
Yeah, his heart stopped. So, Coach, I wish you the best of luck. Just don't kill the dude, please.
There you have it, Coach. Please don't kill anybody. That's good advice. Good advice during this time of contention right now on the national everything. Now we're to the main card. We have a women's matchup. It is a strawweight matchup. Claudia Gadelha is from Brazil. She is +140 as of earlier today. 18-4 record, 2-0 as far as KOs, TKOs, 7-0 as far as submissions. She's never been stopped herself. Fighting Yan Xiaonan from China.
Is that how you say the name? Because I don't know how to say it. I did a video this week. I just called her Yan Zan, or Zan Yan.
I think Mr. Dave Mason is the linguist on this show that can usually pronounce all these names. Dave, how do you pronounce it?
You're right. I don't know.
In fairness,
hold on, let me get a quarter and throw it against the wall. Hold on.
Name is Jan, so
let me find a quarter. I'm going to throw it against the wall real quick.
Well, but really, but in fairness to Dave and I, like I watched, and people say, how can you not know the names of these fighters? And this is no bullshit. For 20 years offshore, it was the only time I saw these fights was either in Spanish or I watched with no volume because I had multiple TVs going, everything at the same time. And I don't watch, and I say it, I tell you all the time, I don't watch these preview shows. So I don't listen like to figure out how to say these people's names. So when I pronounce it, that's straight from the hip.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people know
that's
what I'm talking
funny
about.
Too. Yeah,
An excuse. It's
our sharpest guy here with UFC, he watches this shit all day. That's all he wants to watch is UFC. I kind of turned him on to it way back when. We've known each other for years, and he butchers every freaking name. But it doesn't matter. He'll butcher Tom Brady's name. He's just one of those kind of people. So, you know, whatever. You know, Jan.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't know
a good last name, Jan.
Well, Jan, which I can say is 12-1, 5-0.
Hey, real quick, JBL. How much does pronouncing the name correctly pay? I don't fucking know. All right, that's all I got to say. Anybody talk?
It feels better when you win and you don't know what the hell how to pronounce it.
All right, look, don't get hot, Jody. Enjoy it, Jody.
Jerry.
Damn it, Jerry, don't get hot. Just get Coach's name right, because he does.
Jerry Bugles.
Jerry Bugle. Bugle time. It's time. It's bugle time. Yan is 12-1 from China. She is 5-0 KOs, TKOs, 0-1 as far as submissions. Her sole loss came in 2010. She's gone a decade without losing. It was a first-round rear naked choke. It is a strawweight matchup, as I think I mentioned before we got into how to describe her name, which we did not do a very good job of. Still won't, so we won't go back to it. 2.5 is the under round total. It is a minus 310 to bet the over in this. Dave Mason from Bet Online, or as we might say, Daryl Mason. We're not sure.
Never know.
Never know. What do you have?
D-Money, we call him D-Money down here.
Oh, boy, they're all over Jan. 67% of the cash, 59% of the bettors are on Jan. Sharp action at about minus 125 range. She's up to, what is it, minus 160, I think, or even higher. No, minus 180, good Lord. Yeah, she's gone up. Over under 2.5. And, yeah, 60% is on the under 2.5, which currently pays plus 250.
Any sharp money that you know of, Dave, going?
Yeah, Jan, minus 125 neighborhood.
And Joey Odessa, what do you have as far as on this fight, please?
I bet Yan Zan. I bet her. I laid her at Pick'em. And, about this Gadelha. I mean, she's 18-4. Just the background with it. She's 18-4. Her 4 losses are to that Nina Ansaroff, and then she got 2 to Joanna Jedrzejczyk, the Polish chick that was champ, that just lost to the other Chinese girl, and she got 2 losses to Jessica Andrade. So she's lost 3 of her 4 losses came to people that held the title. But this Yan Zan, this is my thought. I think this Yan Zan is going to beat her. I think she's going to beat her by being busier. Might be kind of a screwed up decision on the cards. People might see something different here because, look, if Gadelha's got to get her to the ground to beat her, if Gadelha doesn't get this girl to the ground, she's not going to beat her. But I think that this Zan Yan is going to beat her, and then at some point after a softball maybe, they're going to put her in and they're going to have a China versus China bout against the champ. That's just my thoughts. But I think this Yan Zan's a better fighter on her feet and busier. And she'll win a decision.
Looking by conspiracy here, thinking that maybe a
China... Well, no, it's not because of that, but I'm just saying down the road, I think that you'll see that.
There's a legitimate thing. There's a legitimate thought here. You're betting that a Chinese versus Chinese matchup, perhaps you have a pay-per-view or a show in China, and that could benefit the company. So,
China, like the Donald says, China.
Sometimes how judges tend to work out toward what's best for the company. You never know. That's all this stuff. Philly Godfather, do you have something on this fight?
I hate going against Joey because I respect his opinion so much when it comes to UFC. His opinion carries a ton of weight. But Coach called me before the show, and it was a little staticky. I was trying to figure out what he was saying. He said he liked the Asian fighter because he had an affinity for Asian women, and it got real staticky. I thought I heard massage, maybe parlor. I'm not sure what I was hearing. I know he bet I know you bet John, so I'm going to have to take the dog here plus money. I'm sorry, Joey. Johnny Acid is on the same side as you, so I'm going the other way.
Paid the coach.
He's due. He coaches due.
The next matchup was canceled, right? Because Brendan Allen, his opponent, got COVID, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that sucks. Brendan Allen was a player there. Brendan Allen and under. I like this Heinisch. I talked about him on the podcast. I think this Heinisch he's got a great story. You know, it's kind of, you know what though? Fuck Ian Heinisch, because he's kind of an asshole. He says smoke fuck. Like I dislike Heinisch more than Paul Felder.
Somebody's pissed off today. That's all I know. Someone's fucking kicking ass and taking names, Joey. Get him.
No, Heinisch is supposed to be a street guy, but whatever, man. He's, you know, I don't know. He's a silver spoon street guy which is kind of a fake. I don't know. I think Heinisch is just whatever, man. Fuck it, I'm not going to punch him.
You saw Felder, you probably make up.
Felder's all right. Felder just don't know what he's looking at. It's the truth. You're fucking calling Granby rolls, somersaults, and foot sweeps, slips. I mean, Jesus
Didn't Felder
Christ.
fight, though? Didn't Felder fight?
Did he fight? Yeah, Felder used to be a good fighter. He's tough. I don't want to fight Paul Felder. Fuck no. I mean, everybody's got their price, but it's not like on the top of my bucket list.
He speaks very highly of you, Jordan.
You know, I told you, he don't know what he's looking at. You know.
Next fight is a bantamweight matchup. It is Raoni Barcelos. He is a minus 375 as of earlier today. Favorite. He is from Brazil. 15-1 record. He's 8-0 as far as KOs, TKOs. 2-1 as far as submissions. His sole loss came back in April of 2014, where he was subbed in the second round by Mark Dickman. This is a short notice fight for Barcelos. He is fighting Khalid Taha.
He fought Coach? Did you say Dickman? Who did he lose to?
He is fighting.
He fought Coach.
He's fighting Khalid Taha.
Never mind.
The German fighter is known as the Warrior. He is 9-0 as far as KOs, TKOs. 2-1 as far as submissions. The over/under is 2.5 rounds. As of earlier today, it was even money to take the over. Dave Mason from BetOnline, please save me from Joey Odessa and tell me where the money's going.
Well, the little update on the odds. Barcelos is up to minus 400. Take back on Taha is plus 300. 89% of the money's on Barcelos. 51% of the bets are on him. 84% of the actions on the under. Too sharp here at BetOnline.
Nothing too sharp, right?
Nah, no sir.
All righty. Joey Odessa, what do you got on this fight?
They probably, you know, the sharp guys probably backed off it a little bit because of, you know, because the number went so high. But, you know, I think the number's right. I like that Barcelos. I bet Barcelos. I think he's going to beat Taha. You know, I watched Taha back. I watched a lot of Taha's fights over in Brave and then in Rise, and he lost to, he split against two different Japanese fighters. I mean, look, he's, you know, I compared him to like Hector Lombard, a small version of Hector Lombard. He comes out, he's going to be throwing bombs. He's the Lebanese-born German import, and he, you know, he's tough. But this Barcelos is like, you know, this Barcelos is an Aldo. I look at him as like a Jose Aldo. Barcelos is going to smoke him. You know, he's 15-1, and his wins aren't against cans. I like Barcelos here.
Did you take
I bet him
on the total, Joey?
You know what? I like under here. You know, let me just see here. I know I'm going to, under 2.5 minus a quarter. What's to that now? What's the total now, Dave?
Sorry, I'm just looking at the NFL games here.
Yeah, it's the same number. I didn't even move the number. They don't respect my action. I'm saying, I just.
You. Yeah. Godfather, do you have something on this fight?
Yeah, Coach likes the dog. He says he's going to take a shot with the dog. But I think Barcelos is a much better fighter. He's a multi-dimensional fighter. He's much better grappler. His defense is a little weak, but like Joe, I'm not going against Joey here, man. I like the favorite here.
And once again, guys, when you guys make separate bets on the under and on the side, you don't normally parlay that, right? You don't normally.
You really can. That's correlated. Most books aren't gonna.
Yeah, a lot of books
take
won't
that.
take that.
If you find a book that takes that, let me know. Because correlate a parlay. It's just two. It puts the.
I got Tony Video. I got Tony Video in South Philly. He'll take it.
So DM me the phone number. There.
You guys wouldn't take a prop.
I'll get you a paperhead signing. Don't worry.
No, yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't parlay props against that either. I mean, it's just all too correlated, and it puts the math and the advantage of the player, and we'd get absolute. It's correlated parlay. The examples are the biggest correlated parlay, of course, is in these college football games, like Alabama's playing some school you never heard of, and the spread's 53 and the total's 63. You can't parlay those games because it's just too correlated. It puts the math and advantage of the player. So that's the same here of parlaying a money line and a total, pretty much.
Like
some fight, yeah, like some fighters, it's
they can only win.
If exactly, some knockout artist, right? You got two knockout artists fighting, and you fight, you bet that the guy that's a knockout artist in the under, that's going to have a mathematical advantage, or some guy just always fights 5 rounds, 3 rounds, and you parlay his odds and the over, and it's just correlated. No, thank you.
And next we are up to the semi-main event. We have Mr. Andre Arlovski, who was mentioned earlier. He is in his 33rd UFC fight, which ties Jeremy Stevens for third most behind the Cowboy, Donald Cerrone, and Jim Miller, who've had 36 fights. Arlovski, though, is 12, 29, and 19. He has, out of his last 14 fights, so he's only won 4. One of them was switched decision. Arlovski is 29-19, as I mentioned. He is the dog here at plus 260. 17-11 is his knockout TKO record. 3-1 is his submission record. This heavyweight matchup is 2.5 rounds is the over-under, minus 125. It cost you for the over. Tanner Boser is minus 350 as of earlier today. As the favorite in this, the bulldozer they call him, 19-6-1, 10-1 as far as KOs, TKOs, 2-0 as far as submissions. The weights on these gentlemen is roughly the same: 6'3" to 6'2", 244 to 232, reach 77 to 75. Boser has won his last 2 fights in 2020, both by KO. Dave Mason from BetOnline, where do you have the money?
Unfortunately, we're gonna need Arlovski. The dude has been around forever. Can't knock anybody out anymore. He was the champ probably when all of us were in diapers, probably like 20 years ago, 18 years ago. And 90% of the money is on the other side. Boser, 56% of bettors are on Boser. 62% is on the under, which is currently pays plus 120. That's to over under 2.5. That is some sharp action on Boser as well, minus 250 to 275 ish.
Minus 250. And Joey Odessa, what do you have?
I have a story. I'm going to transition from Dave's when we were in diapers, and this is for all the this is for all the jerk offs out there that look and say, who is this guy? All the Johnny come latelys. Back in 2004, I think it was March 31st, 2004. I was in Biblica. My son was born in Biblica. I'm at Biblica Hospital. Okay, my wife is due on April 2nd, 2004. Okay, with my first son. So I'm there, and my phone rings. I'm waiting, and it's T.J. Thompson from Super Bowl, and he's from Hawaii. He's a promoter in Hawaii. Anyway, TJ calls me up. He goes, Joey, man. He goes, fucking Tim popped. Talking about Tim Sobey. He goes, Tim popped positive for drug testing. I said, well, what are they going to do? He said, look, Cabbage is going to fight Arlovski now. He goes, fucking Cabbage has been smoking weed. If they test him, he's never going to pass, da-da-da. Well, I shouldn't say that he didn't lay him. Anyway, he put Cabbage out to dry. Everybody knows Cabbage smokes. But, so anyways, he's like, look, let's load up on Arlovski here. Cabbage is in no shape. Now, I don't recall what the price was. So then the doctor's like, well, look, your wife's going to have this baby April 2nd. I said, well, can we speed this up a little bit? So she ended up having the baby on April 1st so that I could go home and put the new matchup in. back then I was dealing with in Jamaica, I was dealing with the Greek and those guys, so I had to send this matchup because this stuff was non-Don best all the time. Nobody was offering it, so I had to go back from the hospital to my house to book this fight that night. Anyways, that's my story. So that's what I remember. That's how long Arlovski's been around. My son is 16 years old now. About Arlovski. This is not an unwinnable fight for Andrei Arlovski, and I can't stand this fucker. I can't stand it. I mean, he just is from hunger. I mean, he went on that run. He goes to Tybura, Nagano, Barnett, over in Miyosa, going bro. He beat Mir. It's a winnable fight for him. If he doesn't get knocked out, and this goes to the decision, we might see a screw job here. And Boser is a Canadian. You know how I feel about them, but it's not an unwinnable fight for him. Boser's no world beater. He's really not. And if he doesn't knock Arlovski out and Arlovski keeps his distance, which he might, it's a winnable fight for him. I think that, I don't know how you could lay that price on Tanner Boser. I mean, Arlovski, you open up the door of the arena and a breeze comes through and then knock him out. I mean, he's got a chin like horrible, but I can't lay that price on Tanner Boser. And in the same respect, I can't bet this fucking Arlovski either. I mean, the price is right. This is just this is a clown fight. I don't even, again, Arlovski's got 19 losses, and he's been on a little bit of a run, but I don't know. It's like a miracle run. I don't know how he did, how he won his last couple fights. He just changed his whole style. Not aggressive anymore. Raised back.
Well, he's winning. He's winning ugly, like you kind of said. How you said he has a chance to win. He's won a few of those fights over the last 5, 6, 7 years. It's just it's just an ugly, boring fight. He does have some decent stand-up skills. He can't knock anybody out anymore, but he's been in the game. He knows how to keep his distance, etc. So.
Yeah, I mean, Rothwell's a good veteran. You know what I mean? I think Rothwell was, was he back in the IFL days? I mean, Rothwell's been around forever. I think he was IFL champ. And, I mean, I don't know, man. This Arlovski, he's just pulling it out of a hat, man. I don't know how he does it.
And last time he knocked someone out was Travis Brown back in May of 2015. That's like impossible for a heavyweight to go that long without knocking somebody out for
Travis Brown.
Everybody's not. Yeah, right. Everybody's knocking him out door.
Godfather, are you getting some insight there from the Bear?
Yeah, Coach actually hit Winnie the Pooh up, and they got a lot in common because you know how Winnie the Pooh says people say nothing is impossible, but he does nothing every day. So since Coach likes Arlovski and he put him in that parlay, I'm gonna have to take the bulldozer here. Joey broke down the two fighters better than I ever could. But since Coach is on one side, me and Pooh are on the other.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, this Arlovski, again, I got history with Arlovski, and I'm telling you that he's from hunger, but it's not an unwinnable fight for him. You know what I mean? It's a winnable fight for him.
Coach is not like Pooh. He doesn't wear pants. Oh, wait a minute.
Donkey, right?
Kinda. All right, we're to the main event, guys. So that means I'm going to go through the card and give you all a rundown of all of the action that we have so far.
Florida State just went over.
Versus Burchak. Joey leaned Burchak. Second fight, Griffin versus Brahmaj. Sharp money was on Brahmaj and fade the coach. Put you on Brahmaj. Next fight, featherweight matchup, Darren Elkins versus Garagorri. The Uruguayan fighter. Sharp money was at -210 at Darren Elkins and better. Joey was also on Elkins, and Joey also had the under in the fight. Next fight, King Kong Romanov. The price was too high for Joey to touch it. Dave Mason reported from BetOnline 85% of the cash was on Romanov and 77% of the bets were on the under. Next fight, biggest favorite on the card, Giga Chikadze. No sharp money with he and Jamie Simmons, who's in his UFC debut. Joey does lean the under in this fight. Next fight, Giles versus Lewis. Again, no sharp money. Money was split pretty evenly as far as the bet total, according to Dave Mason from BetOnline. We get to the main card. Out of the prelims, Yan, a Chinese woman fighter, against Gadelha. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name.
Joey, you number one customer, Joey.
Yeah, fuck you. You're right by all them joints. That's all. That's what they call it. Swishy shot.
Oh, you number one customer, Joey.
Any comments like that?
We're getting shut down real fast. I gotta stop.
Oh my God!
We're gonna have every group in the world: Uruguay, South America, Asia. We're done. We're finished.
We're not still on. Period. Done is sharp money took her at minus 125. Joy also.
Rip it up, John. Let's go. Let's go to the main event, man.
Barcelos and Taha. Hold on. Barcelos and Taha. Joy had Barcelos. Joy also had the under on this fight as well. 84% of the public was on the under. Arlovski and Boser, sharp money at minus 250 was on Boser. 90% of the money was on Boser. So we're to the main event. Thiago Santos versus Glover Teixeira. Santos is the favorite as of earlier today at minus 250. 21-7 is his record. 15-3 KOs, TKOs, 1-2 submissions. It has been 490 days since his last fight. Teixeira is 31-7, 18-3 as KOs, TKOs, 8-0 as far as submissions. The over/under was a 2.5. It was a plus 130 to bet the over. Dave Mason from Mid Online. Where do you have the money?
Yeah, a little update on odds. Santos is now minus 221. To take back on Teixeira is plus 186. Over under 1.5. Over is minus 175. 67% of the money is on Santos. 54% of the bettors are on Santos. 78% of the action is on the over. We do have some sharp action at about plus 200. That's what made it go down.
Sure. So, Odessa, what do you have in this main event?
Here's where I'll make my case for Santos. I don't like betting a guy coming off an injury. He had surgery on his leg after the fight with John Jones. Everybody said, oh, Santos beat John Jones. One of the three judges. Yeah, I didn't think he beat John Jones. John Jones fights everybody close, so you really can't put any stock into that fight other than Santos has been a machine. Outside of that, I mean, look, who'd he beat? I could pull it up here. Jones, he beat that Blachowicz, who was the current champ right now. He beat Jimmy Manuwa, Eric Anders, Kevin Holland, who's 20-5. Now let's look at Teixeira, 41 years old, okay? A couple fights ago, after Corey Anderson smoked him, they left him for dead. He fought Carl Roberson. He got a win there, okay? Roberson, whatever. Ian Cutelaba, he knocked him out in the first round. Well, that's how Cutelaba's fights ends. Either he fucking wins quick or he loses quick, and the majority of guys are just knocking him out in the first round. So you can't put much stock into that. Kirilov, I don't know why they threw Texas softball there. They threw him Kirilov. Kirilov left the UFC. Okay, he got cut from the UFC, fought in some events, and then came back. And then Teixeira beat him. Okay, split decision no less. Then Teixeira fought Anthony Smith. Now, Anthony Smith had his house broken into by a 160-pound or 150-pound crackhead. And Smith said, oh, Jesus Christ, this guy was so tough he could have fought in the UFC. That just tells you all you need to know about Anthony Smith.
Wait, time out. You ever fight a crackhead before?
No, but
I fought one. Listen to me. I fought one. I can fight a little bit. And these guys don't get fucking tired.
So they take a beat.
I don't know whether they're on crack. I don't know whether they're on meth, but I was pounding the guy, and he kept coming.
Yeah, they keep coming, but I mean, it's not, But anyway, so he said this guy could have fought Anthony Smith, and then Anthony Smith fought this Teixeira. And Teixeira went out there and Anthony Smith won the first round against Teixeira. And everybody bet on fucking Anthony Smith, okay? Everybody except me. They bet on this Anthony Smith. And then Teixeira just, his veteran, he just coasted kind of after that. He kept his composure in the first round, shaky first round. Came back and he ended up winning the fight. He ended up knocking Anthony Smith's teeth out. Legit. And here he is again in another bout that, nobody wants to see, Glover Teixeira win this fight that didn't bet him. I mean, he just looks like, I don't know, he looks like Freddy Krueger and Powder had a kid. He just is not, he's not a fucking, whatever.
Oh my God, where'd you pull that name out? That's a scary looking dude.
My brain does that. You know what I mean? I'm it's Freddy Krueger. Who's Powder? That's just a guy, just a show. Google it. that shit on your desk next to you.
He was talking to me, John. He wasn't talking to you, John.
Nixon won't show his picture, not because he looks like Powder, because he's got a pile sitting next to him. We're no fucking stupid.
Dave's got the stuff that breaks right off the block, so you guys know.
20 years offshore, I would never go on camera. Until now I come back, I'm all over the place. When I was offshore, I'd never go on camera.
We're just kidding. Listen, anyone's listening, we're just joking around. We're not serious.
We definitely are.
We're just clowning.
We're joking about
I can see. I just got a tweet from somebody. Somebody just tweeted me. It just popped up on my phone. They're like, "Hey, what are your picks tonight?" Are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously, like that's the kind of shit that just makes me just want to quit Twitter. Like, why? Just I got to just read my timeline, motherfucker. Right? Jesus.
Raw. I like this show. It's raw, John.
It's raw. Everybody's watching. It'll be
X
the last
version.
one.
We got to put an X rating on this motherfucker.
We didn't do it. I'm not responsible.
Listen, I've been clowning on Coach all day, but I got to give it to him. His golf picks are unfucking believable, but he doesn't know the right gambling terminology. And when he called me and he said he's taking the wood with Santos, I had to call a timeout on him. I said, no, you're laying the wood. I said, you never take the wood anyway in life. You lay the wood. He goes, no, I'm taking the wood. I said, no, you're laying the price. You can't take the favorite. You got to lay the favorite. And he likes Santos.
He's due.
I mean he's due, but I listen. His powers are so strong, Joe, in the UFC. I got to fade the coach. It's FTC equals MC squared.
But
it's a mathematical equation.
Yeah.
It is. FTC.
And he told me he loves the under. So I got to go over. What's the total rounds, Dave, in this fight?
2.5, right?
2.5, yeah. 2.5.
I'm going over. I don't know.
If Santos loses this fight, it's going to be in the first round. And then you're going to say, Jesus Christ, how can that happen?
Well, you know what? I hope Coach is right. This way he can clown on me on when we do our next podcast. I'm fading the Coach. I'm sorry, guy. I can't do it. I didn't do my research. I ain't going to lie. I was boat shopping. I got to fade the Coach.
Glover's a slow starter. And Santos comes out cold sometimes. You look at his losses. I mean, I'll pull it up. And I mean, it's glaring. You just look at it and you say, Jesus Christ. And then you go back and you look at those fights. And, I mean, he lost to this. Eric Spicer, we subbed him. I mean, again, David Branch, not a home run hitter. Mousasi. I mean, Mousasi, sure, he's all right. We had him last week. But, he knocked him out in the first round. It's either the first round for Teixeira or I think he gets beat.
Not to change the subject. Not to change the subject. Dave, we bet Stephen F. Austin on the money line today. You got a score on that game?
No, I don't. I've been buried in his political stuff.
Joe, you got a final on that game?
Yeah, I'm looking for the score.
We took plus 180 on
24-6, Stephen F. Austin.
There you go. You can't beat
that. There you have it.
There you
go. Money line.
So there you have the entire show, guys. Our UFC breakdown. Philly Godfather, I always ask you every week if you got anything for free you can throw out for us, college football, NFL, anything you want to give us for free. We like free.
I took South Carolina plus 10. I also took Arkansas, but that game's moving against me. Someone's on the other side, so I'd be a little weary because you got to always respect the money. But I'm on Arkansas, and I took some plus 10 on South Carolina.
Man, there's nice people in the chat. I didn't realize how many fucking really nice people there were on the Follow the Action.
Yeah, I bet the over in Hawaii too. I don't know. It was just for some baby peanuts. So if you guys want to, you know what I mean, that's all.
Why did these guys come here? I'm just looking now. It's fucking Indians.
And for guys that are in the chat, we apologize. We don't have somebody to watch the chat for us right now. Sometimes
just looked at it now at the bottom. It's all people being dicks. The truth. I mean, just what's wrong with you people? Seriously. Fucking get a life, man. You're sitting here, you're listening to me. I got better shit to do. Like, if I wouldn't be, I mean, I know, I'm just saying, though.
We thank all of you. We thank everybody out there for listening. That is Follow the Action. You got a bunch
all you folks on the other side, you better
shake
my hand.
This is Follow the Action.
It's real, right? saying.